Game on! Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby!
And so what do you do there at the show?
I'm doing industrial 3D laser scanning.
Oh shit!
So it's pretty cool actually. It's looks like when you look at it on a computer, looks like a video game. Like
so how does it work? Just like a
basically
rundown?
it's like a piece of equipment that has this like sphere in the middle with a mirror on the bottom, and underneath that there's a laser that shoots up and that spins around. The mirror spins around super fast, and all these lasers like shoot like millions of lasers like everywhere, and it measures all the like
inside a room or something.
We do it outside. It's crazy as fuck, dude.
So what would you be measuring? Like, what are you trying to? What's the whole objective of the machine itself? To
Just
create
like
blueprints of something?
Yeah, it's to like run new like pipelines and stuff
Oh,
like that,
shit.
or if they're like running like electrical trays or anything like that. So like back in the day, they would have had to do that. Like they would have to go out in the field and then
Survey stuff.
Yeah, well, this is
Yeah.
surveying, but they would have to go out and like probably sketch it out and then come back and build a 3D model to like show people, and then like, you know, shit like that. And then just like progressively over the years, like the 3D, the scanning's been getting like better and better and more efficient. And yeah, now we're at the point where it's wild, man.
I can
So
imagine.
yeah, I'm looking at trying to find like different applications for that, so I can start a business
Yeah.
doing that. Just the equipment's fucking
Yeah.
Expensive,
Yeah. If you can
yeah.
find like unique use for it,
yeah.
that's where if it makes some of those corporations' job that much easier. It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
big.
now everyone like they won't do anything without the laser scanning because it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to go out and build I can go out, I could scan this room and transfer the scan into AutoCAD, and then you can work with like all the like designers can work with it from there.
Yeah.
And then they kind of they can like get a quote and like
Is it instant? Like, or like, for instance, like this room, how long was it? Like,
I could scan this room probably in like, I don't know, like 10 minutes or something like
that's
that.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'd be like, yeah, it's like in like
How
in depth.
accurate?
I'm not exactly sure, but it's super accurate,
yeah.
man. It's probably up to
That's
like a
pretty cool.
16th of an inch at least, probably.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
it's pretty cool.
Do you like doing that, or is it just good?
It's
money
good,
and
man. Like
everything?
I get paid to like walk around and climb shit,
Yeah. That's cool.
fucking and be outside. So I get my steps in throughout the day, and then I can go to the gym after work, and it's nice, man.
Yeah, that's
It's
fun.
like a
awesome.
bit of a head start on like instead of just like sitting around like at a desk, which is part of the job too. I do
Right.
have to do that, but for the majority of the time I'm outside.
How
So-
long have you been doing that for?
Well, so I have. It's funny because I started my business,
Yeah.
and in the first year, like basically the third or fourth event that I did, I'm like I
I got to
you know,
get something.
the first event I did was with Twum at DeMello's grand
like,
opening.
yeah.
I did like $300 in sales.
Yeah.
Like Nick was like, package your stuff, dude, fucking come out and sell it. And so I did $300. The next show I did 600. The next one I did 8.
No
and then I
way.
did 16 like the next show, and I'm like, fuck, I'm quitting my job.
Damn.
Right? So then I'm like, I quit my job. I did that full time for a year. And then after the year, I'm like, you know, I did pretty well for someone who's got no business experience.
Yeah.
And, but I realized that like in order to grow the business to where I want to be, I need to work full time in order to like pay my bills and then fork out money
Reinvest
to
back into
reinvest.
that.
Right. So in doing that, I picked up working at like a temp agency.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just stumbled on like I did so much shit through the temp agency, and then I stumbled on this laser scanning thing, and it was
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
super cool, man. Yeah, it was so
yeah.
It was.
So how long
I
ago
did
was that?
That was like
Going back to the start of all this.
That was last summer. The laser scanning.
Oh, okay,
started.
okay.
Yeah, that was last summer. So, it was a 6-week contract that lasted 18 weeks.
Awesome.
And then that gave me enough experience to like get
better jobs.
Get this job. So we'll see where that goes, right? This one was like a 8-month contract, and they're already like talking about renewing it.
Is the goal to obviously eventually not have to just do full time?
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'd really like to. I'm trying to set it up so that I'll be able to hire like 1 or 2 people, but essentially have it like almost automated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
but like, so tell us, like, how long ago was that? Like, when did what did you start?
So how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah,
or
so
like let's introduce the idea, or like what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so the company's called Rimjobs and Meat Rub Co.
Yeah,
that's
right. Awesome. So, I mean,
so it's
brilliant.
Yeah, I do applewood smoked Caesar rimmers and a meat rub / all-purpose seasoning. That's basically how it started. Was the all-purpose seasoning. I used to work at the tasting room. You guys probably been there. Yeah. So Carl Lansdowne, one of the owners, he owns it with his wife, Pam. And Carl used to make this hickory smoked jalapeno dust that I like found in a jar in the kitchen. And I was like, I smell it. I'm like, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
Right. So I started sprinkling it in my staff meals, and it was fucking awesome. It was so good. Yeah, it was like so good.
And it wasn't part of the menu, nothing. It was just his
no.
private...
It was just like he had like forgot it in the kitchen or something. He probably made a meal with it and forgot it in the kitchen, and then I found it, and I was like, this stuff's awesome. So every day I'd use it in my staff meal, and then the jar like got down to like that much, right? And he came back one day. He's like, who's eating my stuff? And I go, oh, it's me, bro. It's really fucking good, right? And then he's like, stop. He's like, stop eating my stuff, man. He's like, I'll show you how to make it. Just like, make your own, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how it started. And then I think this is like going back years ago. And like my mom, I think, bought me a smoker. And it was just like a basic, like it was for my birthday or whatever. It was like a basic, just like a box. Mm-hmm. With like a metal tray in the bottom that you put the wood chips in, hook the propane up. So I'd smoke peppers in my dad's backyard, and then I got like a little dehydrator. It was like a 5-shelf dehydrator, and so I like really spicy food. Mm-hmm. So I like immediately like went towards like Scotch bonnet peppers, right? Mm. And because like, back in the day, like I helped run educational play camps for the youth in Jamaica. And that's where I like fell in love with like really spicy food. Yeah, like the super spicy Scotch bonnet sauce on the side of the road. Like it was fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I was geared towards like smoking the hot peppers, and then my family would try it and they're like, man, this is way too fucking spicy. Yeah. This is way too spicy. You got to tone it down if you want us to eat. So I started mixing in like sweet peppers. I started off with like these shepherd peppers that I'd buy from the Mennonites in Elmer, and they're like these like long, like pointy peppers. They're like nice, juicy, sweet peppers, but they were like harder to find like throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So I ended up transferring over to bell peppers, and then I kind of balance out the heat with the bell peppers. So yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of just all been like trial and error.
Yeah. So for that, is it the same recipe every time pretty much? Like, do you have it down?
Yeah. It's down.
It remains the same pretty much.
Yeah. It needs to be consistent when people are buying it, right? And it's like slowly come down in heat over the years because people would try it. Like I called it like a medium heat level, and people would try it and go, whoa, this is hot, right?
Yeah.
But the magic of life is that everyone's different, and like, some people would try my medium Caesar rimmer, and they go, whoa, this is hot, right? But some people will try the Reaper and say it's not hot enough, right? So it's like everyone's heat tolerance is different, and so excuse me.
So that got into then the rimmers, huh? Or,
Yeah,
like,
so
how'd
I was
that
like-
come about?
I don't know. I just like I worked in the restaurant industry for a while, and I watched so many Caesars just get ruined, right? Like people ask for a spicy Caesar and they dump a bunch of Tabasco in it, right? Which is like, you know, I'm sure it was probably a good hot sauce at some point, but it's so played out and like
Yeah.
stretched out with vinegar that you're just kind of ruining the drink at that point, right? So
It's funny. I love like if I order a Caesar and that's like a first drink I'll order at a restaurant is like
Yeah.
just make it as spicy as you can make it. And like
yeah,
as many as I ever like get, I've never had one that where it's like, oh, this is the spice level I'm looking for.
well,
They're
you
all
should
like-
try the Reaper.
I know.
That's my favorite, and you get the idea is to get a more full-bodied cocktail, and so we keep the heat on the rim, so you get a more full-bodied cocktail, and it's got true heat with flavor, and yeah, it's honestly it's my favorite, right? So that
I
one's
should have made one. I should have had one right now.
yeah, that one's made with locally sourced peppers that are generally grown in like the Elmer area by the Mennonites. And then I use some Carolina Reaper powder in there as well, which is like does the trick.
Yeah.
You know?
That's wild.
It's made a few people cry.
Really?
Yeah, and
So I can't use this to like spice meats and stuff, right? This
You
is just
can.
specifically
you
for...
can like I don't make the rules. You can do whatever you want, but as far as the salt base goes, for the Caesar rimmers, we use a celery salt base to mimic the traditional Caesar. And in the meat rub, I use pink salt.
Okay.
So it does have a bit of a different flavor.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm working on some other meat rubs as well. So, and some of them, I think maybe one or two might be spicy.
See, I like spicy food in general. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm same as you. Tolerance level definitely. I mean, every time I make anything, whatever, chili or whatever, it's just like put the spice in.
Yeah.
But not everybody can eat it, right? So it's like I always have to separate my meal and my spicy levels compared to, like, for example, Vera's, right? So it's like it's always different. So I spice my food and the flavor in general. I mean, but how high of a heat tolerance, I've never actually tried.
Well, that'll be a good reference
Right.
point, I think.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know, it'd be a good one to try. I might also come out with just like a spicier version of this one. People really seem to like this one. And that's kind of how it started, right? It was like, that's
So
exactly
you were
how it
like, let's
started.
try, like, what sparked, did you always want to do something like that? Or what sparked the idea to like make a product out of it?
Well, it was Nick, honestly, because I was training with him at the time. And he eats like, he was eating so much chicken at the
And
time.
he's just like, you should put this in a bag
dude, I
and
just
sell
eat
it."
like chicken and broccoli all the time. He's like, I need something to spice up my life, kind of a thing. So I was selling him like, well, originally I gave him like a bag like this, and he hit me back like a week or two later. He's like, bro, that shit's fire. He's like, I need more of that. Right?
And
I'm like,
huh?
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm like, okay. And then, so I gave him another bag, and then he's like, yo, can I get more of that? I'm like, bro, I'm gonna have to start charging you. I'm like, this shit ain't like not free,
of course.
right? And he's
Right.
like, I'll buy it.
Time and energy.
He's like, I'll
too.
buy it.
Yeah.
And then when DeMello was doing their opening or whatever, the grand opening, he goes, yo, like set up like a table here and like,
So how long
package it and
before
sell it.
that so you've only had like not only, but you've had a product since that time? I feel like
Yeah,
even
that
before
was-
that you had a product like in
No,
hand,
not
really?
packaged. No.
No?
That was the first show that I ever packaged stuff. I had like bought.
So you weren't really trying to sell it like
I wasn't really
actively
like,
trying to sell it for, out of start a business with it before that, or
no,
like
yeah, that was kind of
short-
like the push that I got, and then so I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna fucking put it in. I bought all these pouches on Uline.
yeah, because I remember this too. Like I remember like asking about stuff, or we've talked then about this in general.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all kind of around that time. I was supposed to start training with Nick here,
Yeah.
and then I broke my arm.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
then
I do remember that.
And then I took like, I don't know, 8 weeks or whatever to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started over at DeMello, but I was working out here and going to DeMello.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then anyway,
So
Yeah,
you went
that's
to
kinda
that
like-
one, and then you're like, so there was a realization that
Yeah,
you
I
could
was like,
set up
fuck,
something.
I did $300 in sales just making stuff that I like make for myself, right?
And even from like a business standpoint, were you breaking even, or you're like, oh, that's like, that really didn't cost me anything at all to make, like, you sold $300 was a good profit even on that first day?
The margins are like pretty healthy, right? So I'm like, I could do something here, right?
So then what was the next thing you did?
The next one I found, I went to the Western Fair, right? So I went to the not the actual, just the farmer's market, right?
Yeah.
And because I found out they did pop-ups there. And I'm like, there's no way. Because at that point, I was like, I had done like a little like cursive scribble that was my logo.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this is a fucking great logo. I'm like, I love this logo. Like, it's the best logo out there, whatever. And then it turns out people couldn't read it. But either way, like I was like thinking, there's no way that the Western Fair is going to get down with Rimjobs, right?
You think so?
I'm like, there's no way, right? And then I hit them up, and they were like, they welcomed me with open arms, man. I even had these I got the T-shirt that says "I Heart Rimjobs," but I had these hoodies, and it was just like I had done the design.
I have.
On
do I have it over there? You remember the one you gave me?
No,
you gave me a long sleeve, and it's
Okay.
got like pink on the front or on the back.
okay.
On the back.
Was it the fancy like?
Yeah, I almost want to say it's like pink and gold or something like that.
There's a 24 karat gold rim that I did.
I think I gotta find it over there.
I never even launched it, like just because it costs so much money to make, and I'm like, I don't know who would even buy it, right?
So that was a real concern of yours, was like the name and how it was perceived.
Yeah, man, yeah, for sure, and it's still like, cause it's still like something that I kind of deal with, because not everyone gets the humor.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're any kind of like religious, like people are not down. They they look at it and they're like, they get upset.
Really?
Right? And they're like, that's not funny. I go, well, it's funny to me, right?
Well, it is
It's funny.
though.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
funny that you don't think that it's
Yeah.
funny. That makes me fucking
How'd you
laugh,
come
right?
up with that concept though?
I don't know, man. I'm just
Well,
like,
it's
you know
so
what? Like I've had like, I was just talking with someone, like I lived with like one of the most aggressive dudes like I've ever met in my whole life. I lived with him for like 6 months, and he's like, I don't know, he's like, he has a super dark sense of humor. Maybe we shouldn't. He might be watching this, so don't say he's aggressive. But yeah, he's like, he's a funny guy. He's super dark sense of humor guy, right? And so that really rubbed off on me. And then like a lot of my buddies are like older, like in their like, late 50s, early 60s, like kind of just like old, like
say it how it is.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
Old
you know
school,
what I
yeah.
mean?
But it's funny
and
because-
they just like say like funny shit all the time that like totally rubbed off on me, right? And I was thinking, I'm like, I gotta come up with a cool name for this. And then I'm like, I was already toying around about doing a spicy Caesar rim, so you get like the more like full-bodied cocktail. And then I'm like, Rimjobs. And I'm like, Rimjobs would be hilarious because you're licking the rim.
Yeah,
It's
dude, it's
fucking funny,
hilarious.
right?
Like,
And I'm
yeah.
like, and then I'm like, someone's got to be doing this, right? So I looked it up, and no one was doing it, man.
yeah,
like-
I think I would think like when you talk about like rim on a Caesar or on a Caesar or anything, right? Like that's what it
I
is.
think
Like
there was
That's
like
exactly
I think there
exactly
was
what
like a
it
rim
is.
job thing where like someone was doing like car rims or something like that.
oh yeah.
Right.
But I'm like, and then I was like, maybe I said rim jobs and meat rubs. I was like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
They pair well together. Like it's just funny, right?
It comes hand
So
in
do you
hand,
get
yeah.
more or less of that like negative reaction than you expected from the beginning? Like is it 95% like,
I feel
or is it
like
pretty split? If you go to one of those like a market,
it
say,
depends where you're at,
Yeah.
honestly. But like,
No.
I feel like a lot of it is good attention.
so when you go out to Elmer to pick up all your like produce,
They don't know. They don't know. I deal with like
They don't write an
I deal with
invoice
like a
out to
local
Rimjobs.
distributor that buys it from them, right? So, but those guys, they know and they find it funny.
yeah.
So, it's a thing where like whenever I get T-shirts printed, people are always having a good time. Like it makes people laugh, and that's what I like about it. And then if it pisses you off, then
That's your
whatever,
problem.
man. That's your
Whatever,
problem.
yeah.
You know, yeah. And actually, there was I did the Stratford Makers Market, which is a great market, by the way. Those girls are super chill. They got
Train.
Oh, is that a train?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were bikes.
No, that's you
like,
can see it right there.
Who's outside
Look
right
out the
now?
back window, see, to that side. It's right there.
So yeah, they
You went there.
I did the Stratford Makers Market, and I did their Easter one first. And this woman showed up from the Catholic District School Board, and was like,
I had an issue with it.
yeah, but I didn't know. She didn't like say anything. She just like decided to try to drag my name through the mud online, and so I had like quite a few.
It's like, why would you go out of your way to like, trying to
but
ruin you?
It worked in my benefit though, right? So all these people started hitting me up, and they're like, "Hey, we heard about your company. There's this lady online's talking."
They
about
want to
you,
double
right?
down because she realized she's just being a Karen. You know what I
and they
mean?
were like, "We find it hilarious. She's like trying to rip you a new one online." I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Tell her I said thanks, right?" So
But
I
it's
just
publicity, right?
Exactly. So yeah, the people that don't like it, go tell everyone, right?
Right.
They're
Yeah.
like, look at this asshole at the market, like
You're like, oh, good for him. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
sweet. That's awesome. So.
Yeah.
So you just do you like you did a couple markets and then you realized like that was a good thing to pursue, or like markets or like events or whatever?
Yeah, I ended up doing. I did the DeMello thing was the first one. Then I did the Western Fair a couple times, and then I stuck with that one because it was really good, and they were really nice people. And then I found the Butter Tart Festival in Paris, Ontario. That was run by All Canadian Events. And they're like, if you're like starting a business and you're looking at trying to get into events, those guys are like a really a good one to go to. They're a reasonable price, and they also are nice people. It's like a family-run organization that they're based out of Paris, Ontario. So it wasn't far for me to travel, but it was out like a little bit outside of my comfort zone kind of a thing. So
do you, for someone first getting into it and stuff like that, is because I've never done anything like that. Is it expensive? Like, how much would it cost to go do a pop-up at Western Fair?
Western Fair was like,
really,
I don't know what it is now, but at the time it was like $50 for the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a joke,
that's
right?
awesome.
It's like, they're doing it to help out the little guys, right? And that's kind of where things originated. Like after COVID, they were like doing all these pop-up markets to kind of get people out there and to help people kind of like for brand awareness and that sort of thing. And then I think it's kind of turned into like a lot of and not for everyone. Obviously, there's people that have like started like that and then kind of built up their prices, and they have a good following, and the events turn out really good.
So to give the complete contrast, like how much would it cost to go to Sunfest for the weekend?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I haven't done Sunfest. I'd say probably a couple grand or something.
I'm just curious because that'd obviously be a huge barrier for someone first getting in.
You're saying, I did Rib Fest, and I think that was like probably around $1,000.
Yeah,
maybe a bit more than $1,000, and it was.
Once you started going with
days.
those, like, was it trying to do something every weekend?
Yeah,
was it every weekend?
My job, man.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta. It's do or die now. I gotta do.
Do you feel
it, right?
at the time, looking back, that was necessary?
No, it was a mistake for sure.
Mm.
It was just like because I did 1,600 on like my fourth event or something. I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, I don't even make this much in my job.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I'm quitting. I'm gonna do this full time, and then turns out not every weekend's like that, right?
Right.
And but with that being said, do I regret doing that? No, because I went out and I found all the ones that did work for me. So the next year, even though I did less in sales the next year, I did like probably less than half the amount of events, right? So
what would be the next thing after events? Like
right now, I'm trying to work on my to boost my e-commerce platform, right? Because I've got a Shopify website set up, and
what is it? What's the website?
Rimjobs.ca.
That's
awesome. Yeah. So rimjobs.com is taken, but maybe one day, right?
Yeah. So do you, does it generate sales like
It's
a little
like,
bit here and there?
It's not like, it's nothing compared to like what I would do if I were going out to events every weekend. But with that being said, also like the events range anywhere from, like the ones I've done have ranged anywhere from like $50 to like 2,700, right? And so it's a lot of overhead. A lot of the ones are outside, so they're all weather dependent, right? So you go out and they can be great or they can be like terrible, right?
Right.
And so I'm trying to come at it from a different angle this year. So I'm going to try to just do, because my products are like a high value. They're locally made, like artisanal seasoning, right? So and they're lightweight to ship, and they're in pouches, so they're not like if you like, I know people that have like glass bottles that they're shipping and they break during shipping, and then that's a big mess to clean up. These are like nothing, right? So I'm trying to like make it, I'm gonna do bigger sizes so that it's like more worth it for people.
What's the biggest key to like growing your e-commerce business? Do you think anticipate? Just trying to figure it out now?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out, right? So like there's like, I set up my Shopify through this grant called Digital Main Street. So if you have an e-commerce platform, they'll build you a Shopify store for free.
Oh, cool.
So my last website I had done myself. I've got no background in that. So it looked like shit, right? Now this one looks way better than my last one, but it still it's still got some touching up to do for sure. So
what about,
I just found out, sorry.
No, you go.
I just found out you can like buy like themes.
Yeah.
Right. So you can buy like a new theme for the website, which kind of like spices things up a bit. I'm going to work with a photographer. There's a couple people that I work with. I work with Me Photography, Michelle.
Maybe
she's really good. She's really professional. Like, and then I work with Corey too, Snackmaster. I don't know if you know him.
Maybe on Instagram,
I don't, but they're good people, and they they both have really good work. So I'm gonna work with some of them. I'm working with some videographers to get some commercials done.
Yeah, cool.
I'm working on some cool
shit. Marketing, right?
It's just slowly but surely, right?
There.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just like boosting posts and that sort of thing, and working on like email flows and that sort of stuff. So it's all stuff that, like, again, I've got no experience with. It's all trial and error.
That's the same as it was for me. And like always, that type of stuff is like just always ongoing too. It's like once you do the better, then it's like working on how to make it better and better, and different marketing and content and stuff. It's just like never ending. But is Amazon a thing? Like, would it go on?
I got accepted to Amazon. So that's something I got to figure out as well.
Can you scale it pretty quickly if you had to, or is that another hurdle that you just have to cross when you get there?
I could scale it. And I'm working on being able to do that right now. I'm like, that's the other thing about like working full time right now. I'm like saving up for some bigger equipment that will like help me streamline the process. Because
currently you're just doing this by yourself. You're
I just do it by myself,
packaging them.
Yeah, so I source peppers locally. Then I smoke them, dehydrate them. I brought in two 34 tray dehydrators that are like up to my shoulders basically.
And you have a setup, like I
work at the Grove at the Western Fair.
Okay, so that's cool.
Because
ended
you
up
helped
working
me
out,
with
right?
that. Because I was having some issues there or whatever, and then you helped me out with that.
So that ended up going through, and you're still there working.
Man, that
right?
actually really helped me out because I was like I was having trouble. They had a smoker there, and they needed to hook it up to electrical, and that
was Spina. So that's like
So we gave you reached out to Spina for me, and he made a phone call, and then fucking next thing you know, it was like,
here's a spot.
Here you go. Yeah. Here you go.
You got a manual for this
work
thing?
something out for you. Yeah.
That's sweet. That's cool.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I really appreciate that. And then so I can up until recently, I just found I just made a tweak in my process that's actually gonna help me like substantially produce like almost double the amount, pretty much double.
Yeah, cool.
So that's pretty sweet. But I'm working on some getting some bigger equipment that will help me streamline the process
And same, like I can imagine. I mean, when you have a product like that, then it's like grocery stores or store like stuff
So
to just like.
that's where like the Rimjobs thing is kind of shooting me in the foot, right? Like,
Yeah, is it though? Like, have you approached? Have you had?
I went to How to Succeed with Sobeys. It was like a business conference in Toronto, and I showed up wearing this shirt with product and stickers and stuff. And I approached this table that had the buyers from the East Coast, the West Coast, and Ontario for Sobeys. And I gave them the product, like did like a little pitch, gave them the stickers, everything, the whole package. And then I let them like sit on it for a bit. And I came back and I was like, hey, listen, so like, what do you guys think? Honestly, I'm like, is the name going to hold me back from working with you in the future? And they said, absolutely. Like, it's a family store, which I totally understand.
Yeah. My thing is like, even
it's like kids aren't going to be going around looking for Caesar rimmers or like seasoning, but there's a chance, right?
But there's a lot of, that's not like, there are, I'm sure, like small local grocery stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure grocery stores aren't the ultimate for that product, right? Like e-commerce
like stores and stuff.
Yeah,
like
and Amazon and shit like
Amazon
that.
and e-commerce, I think, is the way to go.
I've gotten into 16, 17 retailers kind of across like Southwestern Ontario kind of a thing. And I've been featured in 17 restaurants from Sarnia to Niagara.
Oh, cool.
Too. So
See,
it's kind of like in every city I go to, I like hit up a bunch of restaurants and local stores.
For
so
sure.
I've
I mean,
kinda
that's
come up to
like talk about grocery stores and stuff. It's like, what about just food chains? You know, like what does if Kelsey's made that their thing? Like,
that'd be
they don't,
unreal.
it's behind the scenes. Like no one really has to know, but it's kind of a cool party trick if a bartender pulls it out in the right, like, you know, I mean, it's sitting there. It's something that's not in front of people's face, but if they're all the restaurants like are using it for their Caesars
that'd be
stuff.
unreal, right? And Winks uses it a lot. They use the medium one a lot for like they're like the most consistent customer I think in London besides JD's. JD's and Winks they hit me up quite a bit for it. But also I'm kind of toying around with like a bit of a rebrand, but I'm gonna keep Rimjobs because like there's no way I'm gonna get rid of that.
You couldn't.
I can't. No, there's no way, man.
and you shouldn't.
No
way.
No.
Yeah.
So like, and it's a thing that like it'll do great on e-commerce once I get it going. Like it's bound to go viral at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just need the proper I need a good videographer that'll work with me for the price. Because like I'm just toying around right now. Like I don't know if I can like fork out like 4 G's for a video, you know what I mean? Like where I'm not. But like eventually, like I totally understand. Like it's that's what these guys have put like years into their craft as well, right? So, but
I'm like half debating going to tell them to turn it down.
Who is it?
I don't know. Not that it's me.
Yeah. Can is it Is it catching it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Probably not that much.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay, me neither. It's all good. Because even if you got to a certain point or at any point you were like just like it's going off the shelves on Amazon or like goes viral at any point, like I don't see it being you could go to Sobeys and be like, hey, this is the product I have. I'm willing to like do an off-brand, like another product just for you that's called something that is more appropriate. Like they don't even have to be, as far as the public knows, they're two completely different businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that wouldn't be selling out to your name or anything like that. That's just like, we have an awesome product. I get where the name comes from. Let's do a exclusive only to whatever Sobeys, and it's called, Rim something else.
Yeah. Well, I've got
whatever. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got another one that I'm working on, but I don't think I'll really like say the name because I don't really want any correlation between the two companies, right? Because if you're like super uptight and you're like, you know, Rimjobs pisses you off, then chances are I'm
you're not going to
gonna
support
piss you off.
right.
You're not going to support
Yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah, it'd be all behind the scenes type of like totally different company.
But it's like I've come up with another one that like looks. I've shown people like that like my product, and I'm like, even if it's like a like really similar product, maybe a little bit better, a little fancier, whatever, it'll be in this packaging. And they go, "Oh my god, that's beautiful. When's that coming out?" I'm like, "Just told you it's gonna be the same fucking thing, different packaging."
But I'm again someone who loves like Caesars and like rims and stuff. Like there isn't a lot at the grocery store. There's not a lot of different products like that.
No,
like do you have a lot of competition?
No, my competition's mainly like Mott's.
Yeah, because they do the ones in the
Walters,
dish, and then there's another one.
I think Walters.
Yeah, that's like
and
the
there's
two.
Matt and Steve's too. Matt and Steve are from Toronto.
Okay,
They do the pickled beans.
Okay.
Yeah,
but there's probably not.
But
It's not
other
like
than that,
like
there's
a huge,
not like there's a few like I'll at events and stuff. I'll see the odd like someone with a Caesar rimmer that's doing like hot sauce or doing whatever, right? But there's not really much competition there. But I'm working on like a Canadian tahine too. Like,
what's that?
You know tahine? You
No.
know tahine? It's like a savory and kind of sour and spicy. It's like salty
flavor.
Yeah, it's like a seasoning people use on like cocktails and stuff like that.
Maybe
too.
I know it if I had it, but I don't know.
It's like a tall, like skinny bottle with like a green cap. Anyway, it's a pretty like.
Is it a liquid?
It's a pretty common thing. No,
it's a powder.
It's a red powder. Yeah, but I'm working on something like that, but like a Canadian version. I don't even know where they're from. Honestly, it might be a Mexican thing. I'm not sure, but I'm working on one of those, and then I've got like another like a margarita rim that I'm kind of working on. Just some like some other stuff.
Wow.
And
So how many in total?
I've got
products?
5. I got the so I just came out with the garlic dill too. That's like the hottest seller right now.
I'm not a dill guy.
Either you are or you're not. Like I don't think there's
guy.
really like an in between, but like the people that are like love it, man. Like that product surpassed all of the other products in sales in 6 months.
Really?
Like from the beginning of my sales on my Square. It's cool because Square you can see all the like the analytics and stuff,
it's
right?
awesome.
So you can see like the dill just like is at it's at the top. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that one's sweet. So I got the dill, I got medium hot Reaper, and then I got the meat rub. But I'm working on some other meat rubs and some different flavors for the cocktail rims too.
Awesome.
But
I mean, you don't have to have 20 of them. You know, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
perfect them,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, perfect them to the point where people, because the garlic dill, I don't have to touch that one.
So was it going? This is a little off sub. Well, not. Was it hard to like get this right? Everything that needs to be on here, like making it spec ready.
It costs a lot of money. That's for sure.
I can imagine.
I designed the mild, medium, hot Reaper. I did the meat rub, and I had a cherry raspberry one that I did for Valentine's Day, and people love that. It's like a fancy fun dip almost made with freeze dried berries, and so that one I kind of put off to the side. Those ones are like kind of like they're a real pain in the ass to make. It just gets super sticky.
That would be
and
seasonal
stuff.
or something though.
Yeah, but I still have the design for it, so I might bring it back. I also brought in like a whole bunch of peach. So I had strawberry peach, pineapple peach, and peach mango for the Winona Peach Fest.
Oh, sweet.
And then I did what's another one? The gold one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for the first,
I have that. I gotta go.
I think I've seen it.
100%. It's probably over there folded.
Yeah. The gold. So the gold one, the first 7 SKUs cost me like 5 G's just to design.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which I got a grant through the London Small Business Center, and I put that. It was a $5,000
like you do your
grant.
research, which is like great. You know, you always look where you can get grants or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, that's the OG one.
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I only
That's
know.
so
I think
sick.
Christy's got one of those. Yeah, there's only a few people that have those, man. I spent so much money on these things. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's the original logo. That little cursive thing.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is such a good logo, and then people would be like, they couldn't read it. And then I switched over to the Nick and Sally Force made that like
nice.
steakhouse
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of style logo for me.
Nice.
And it's cool because like you can definitely, I mean, for Valentine's Day, for example, you know, you did couple, and it's like now and then you just do like a couple special ones, and
Yeah,
it's,
and
it keeps people coming back, right? So
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah, I had like a QR code on the packaging too, so you'd scan it and it would take you to a cocktail recipe.
I think there's one on that side of that sleeve.
Yeah, probably. I was doing that for a while. They didn't really
Is
work
there?
that well.
Maybe
Oh,
there is.
there
Yeah,
it is.
see?
Right there. Yeah.
They didn't. These ones didn't really work that well. I don't know if it would work or not.
Is it folded up?
It's folded, yeah. Let me try it.
Which is also great. A great idea. QR code, boom.
Well, that's what, like it was supposed to, because these things are supposed to, people are supposed to look at it and be like, what the fuck, and then look back and my logo's on the back, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then for when they go, what is that? And you go, oh, I just scan the code, right? But oh. This one was a free one though. Oops, no QR code found.
That's funny.
Expired, I guess.
Sweet. So I've been
Yeah.
thinking, since you mentioned it, what did you do in Jamaica?
Oh, I was
Like,
I was
how old
through
were you?
I was
In high school? Out of high school?
From 14 or 15, 16, 17, I think. I went for a month each time for 3 years in a row.
No way.
Yeah,
During the
so-
summer?
Yeah, during the summer. So we'd go for the first week we'd stay at in the hills of Montego Bay, and we'd
Yeah.
like sleep on the floor in the school, and for a week, and then for the next 3 weeks we'd go hang out in Negril,
Yeah.
and we'd stay at the Yellowbird, which is like a little like hotel on the beach, like a little like motel.
And
kind
what
of
were
thing.
you doing there?
We're helping run educational play camps for the youth.
Oh, cool.
Where we were running educational play camps. I was just helping out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a good experience. I got
Yeah.
to meet a lot of cool people. There was a Jamaican, Jamaican camp counselors there too. So they were just like locals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you
that
got to
wanted
know
help
them.
out.
a
So
little bit.
yeah, I ended up making friends with some Jamaicans. We haven't spoken in a while. There was one of them I was like talking to, I think last year, but we've kind of like fallen
Yeah.
out of touch, right? I'd like to go back. I love it there.
Yeah.
I got that's where I got my dreadlocks.
Really?
I had dreadlocks for like a couple months short of 11 years.
I think, yeah, I remember that.
man.
Yeah.
It was like a whole part of my life.
That's where you
There's
started.
still like
11
whole-
years, man. That's
Yeah, there's still a whole group of people that call me Rasta when they see me, and then all these people are like, "What?" are you calling me
Yeah,
Rasta,
right.
dude?"
Would you ever go do it again?
No, man, no. I had
That's
to-
a long time, though.
Yeah, it was like attracting a lot of crazy hippie chicks too. Right?
You're like,
It's like the best sleep of my life when I cut them off, though.
really?
You see, like rolling around, like it's like pulling on your hair all the time. But you should have seen my neck after. My neck was jacked, man. Just because I would tie them up on the back of my head.
yeah.
I used to have these like polo toques, and I cut the top off and like put my dreads through the top.
And you just got a different, like, you had to compensate with
Yeah,
neck strength
yeah.
and everything.
Oh, it was crazy, man.
How'd you
There's a
break your
whole-
arm?
Oh yeah, I was doing.
I remember. Wasn't it
was-
nasty?
No, it wasn't that bad. I broke the.
I remember when that
I
happened. though.
broke the. What is it called? It's.
But it wasn't like
whatever's-
a motorcycle or anything like that.
Yeah, it was my buddy's. It was Tanner. Do you know Tanner?
I think I do from then.
Boomers.
I don't know. Was he here with you? I feel like he was here. Maybe not. Was it a scooter or something like that?
He's got like an electric dirt bike, and
See,
I was
I
trying
was
to.
close.
I was trying to do a wheelie
Yeah.
on the electric dirt bike, Yeah.
And what happened? Just fell?
And I fucking it like I was
shot
like
up?
ripping up and down the street, like doing like 80 on this thing, and then yeah, I tried to pull a wheelie and it was like just shot out from under me, and I like landed on my arm.
Oh.
And it broke. Yeah, it wasn't like a terrible break, but it was definitely like
Something
yeah,
happened.
it definitely fucked me up for like 8 weeks, right?
Who's
It
that
hurt
guy?
a lot.
Yeah.
Who just scored?
That was a long recovery process. 8 weeks, man. Oh.
I don't think that's my guy.
Yeah, it was. I don't
You
know.
still feel it? Like,
No, I don't
No?
feel it anymore. I don't think so. Anyway, I can't even remember which arm it was. Honestly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice. What else? Training. It's funny. I remember. I still get your notifications.
I get yours too, man. You just finished a workout.
Yeah, I took Honey for a walk. It's so funny. I always like. I really don't have a lot of people on there, but like way back
managed to
when.
stick it out, eh?
Yeah, and this guy walks like I remember you just crushed like. It seemed like 6-hour long walks.
Oh yeah. Well, the other day I was visiting London and I went on like a 3-hour walk. Like, I
But you
walked
always
out.
used
you
to,
just
right?
you,
Go for
you
like
enjoy
long
walking,
walk.
like just going for walks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's good,
that's
man.
sick.
Yeah. It's I have to.
I guess you get a
I
lot
like-
of ideas too when you start walking.
Yeah, man, it just clears my head.
brainstorming.
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Because yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like a party animal, right? And I gotta
Yeah.
check myself. I gotta keep myself in check. Otherwise, I kind of just go off the deep end and don't get things done. So, New Year's I stopped drinking, and
Nice.
yeah, so I haven't had a drink since New Year's, and I got back into the gym. I'm like eating healthy again.
Nice.
And
And then
for
you're,
you.
You're down there Monday to Friday. You stay down there?
yeah, I'm staying down there. Yeah, Monday to Friday, and then
Because you said
come
you
back.
had your place Airbnb'd.
Yeah, my place is I'm doing the Airbnb, so
Like
I come
here?
back and, yeah,
Like your place here.
yeah,
How's that?
it's going well. It's going really well.
Do you have multiple customers, or you just like have one that sits there for like
No,
month
yeah,
or
I got
two,
a
or-
bunch of people that have
In and
been
out
coming
and
through.
stuff?
Yeah.
It's cool because you can see, you can read their ratings,
right.
so you can kind of see what's going on.
But it's
kinda
been
judge,
a
like,
good
who it is.
experience overall with
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Yeah, I've got this.
No
lady,
horror stories yet.
Not yet. No,
That's good to
I
know.
don't want-
Aren't you
yeah.
close to around here too?
Yeah, not far.
Yeah, it's good because I've had people ask like. Rob had buddies in from out of town. He's
Yeah.
like, you know anyone with an Airbnb so they don't have to? So that's
Yeah,
good
man.
to like
Yeah,
for sure. Good
I'll
to
send
know.
you the link.
Yeah.
It's called the Cottage.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's like an Ontario cottage style home. So it's
That's awesome. Is
Yeah.
it like usually booked all the time?
it's
How
yeah.
busy does
I've had it going for a month now, and like every weekend someone's there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
someone
that's-
from BC is staying there right now.
Just in for work or whatever they are.
Yeah, I'm
Who
not really
knows?
sure what
Visit-
they're up
yeah.
to, but they seem pretty friendly, so I'm not really worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice
Cool.
when like there's been a few people that have been like super friendly, and then there's some people that just like don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, that kind of makes me a little concerned.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to I don't care. You don't gotta tell me what you're up to, like what's going on, like whatever. But
I gotta
Like, I
trust
like
you
to,
a
like-
little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, I like to I know a bunch of business owners in the area, like predominantly restaurant owners,
Mhm.
right? So I
Yeah.
like to if you want to go out for food,
Yeah.
like I'll suggest places for you to go eat, like go to the tasting room or craft pharmacy or
Yeah.
JD's
Mhm.
or whatever, right? So and so that usually gets people talking. But if they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
thanks, and like, or
Shut
don't
it.
even, they just read the message. I'm like, oh fuck, like, who's staying in my
But that's
place?
what you
Like,
sign up for too, right?
Yeah.
I guess like going into that
for
business.
sure.
too, like-
Yeah. So you just gotta kind of like keep your fingers crossed and
Yeah. What's the next big? It's summer. Are you both to ramp up for like as far as
Events.
Events and stuff now?
like I said, I'm kind of just coming at it from a different angle, and I'm trying to just kind of get the e-commerce.
it's
thing
probably
going.
nice to have a full-time job and not have to like feel like you have to hustle at every single weekend at some sort
Yeah.
of market.
Exactly.
You can just
Yeah, because
breathe a
it's
little and-
definitely like it's more of a sure shot, right? And then you're like, you can kind of just focus on building up the business before you jump in. I do want to get into some bigger events, right?
Yeah.
So
But you
instead
can't
of-
do that if you don't have a full. You have to go sell product. One
Yeah.
like that's
Right.
and then you don't have the time or finances to reinvest in the bigger picture.
Exactly. So if I can just like, I kind of want to do the one of a kind show for Christmas. Like
Oh, yeah.
some people will do that show and do like 30K in sales, right? Or like
Crazy.
40K. So if I can get into something like that, or get into some bigger shows, I'm looking at a few. I'm gonna try to do that, but they'll cost like probably about like $2,000,
Yeah.
$2,000 or $3,000 to get into. But
Yeah.
if
And
they-
you never
if they
know who you
work
meet
out-
there
Right.
and stuff, and
Exactly.
like exposure. Like
a lot of it's networking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you never know, and a lot of people, if they're someone, they're not even going to tell you that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
had people like add me on Instagram from just people that I've met at shows, and you like have a conversation with them, and then they add you on Instagram. They got like 20,000
Yeah,
followers or
yeah.
like whatever, right? And then they give you a shout out on their thing, and
Yeah.
it's
There you
all-
go.
It's
Yeah.
great,
Right.
yeah. So
How long does the process take from when you get it, like source everything, until you get it into a package?
approximately, so to like smoke the peppers and dehydrate them takes around like 5 days to dehydrate, and then packaging it depends on how big the batch is, but that's like another thing that I'm saving up for, like a big mixer, right? Because as of like up till now, like I've been mixing everything in like ninja blenders, like shaking it around like a monkey. You know what I mean? Like I've sold like over 5,000 pouches that I've just like filled up with a funnel and a scoop with a scale and shaking it around like that. So it's like I know that it's selling.
and that's
Right.
how that's
'Cause
how
it
you
has to
like-
be, it has to be consistent, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
whole
I've got a
point, right?
method of shaking
how
it
many
around,
like
yeah.
a certain dance you
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah, it's a certain dance that I know by heart now, right? So I'm working on getting like a big mixer that I'll be able to like dump like kilos into, and then just like hit the switch and then let it run for like a few minutes.
And then it's just like it just throwing it in packages for
Yeah.
you. Like one day you'll just be standing
Well,
in an assembly line,
just like pop, 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 pop.
exactly right. There's these machines that you can get that like have like a hopper on top,
Mhm.
and then they've got like a weighing filling machine. So you just like set the weight, open the pouch, hit a pedal, and
Yeah.
it fills it up for you, right? So
Yeah,
those,
one that's
if you want to buy one of those in Burlington, they're like 70K. So
Wow.
it's like you gotta like know for sure that this is something you're gonna before you jump in the water. You gotta.
Do you ever
make sure you
look
can
for
swim.
like partners, like bigger investors
I've
to like go that route, or you're like, no, I want to just go
I
this out of
wanna
my own
do it by
pace?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather do it by myself and just and just try to grow. I've had people offer to invest, and actually, I just there's a local research and development company that hit me up a few weeks ago and asked if I wanted to audition for Dragon's Den.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Would you just for
Dragon's
exposure?
Den or
Yeah.
like-
I did, yeah.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I've never even thought about pitching to investors.
Yeah.
So it was something that I was kind of like, I had a day and a half to prepare. Actually like 2 nights because I was working full time, right? So, I baunched the pitch for sure, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, like there's this guy from Hargest, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Films. He shot like this garlic dill commercial for me, and I really like it. So I sent that to, you go audition in front of the producers of Dragon's Den. So I sent that to them before I went, and I got there and they were like, "Oh yeah, we saw your video already." I'm
That's
like,
cool.
Sweet, that's
Wow.
awesome. So
And it's just experience and different lessons that you gain
Yeah.
along the whole process,
and
right?
they really liked it. So I don't know where that's gonna go, if it's gonna go anywhere, but I brought I've got a Lazy Susan that my buddy John Woolsey made for me.
Yeah, we know John.
Yeah, so John,
yeah.
he made this Lazy Susan that's all like
I think I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
like
talking about,
engraved, and he like
Yeah.
filled it with epoxy and stuff.
Yeah, I
It's-
have. He did one for me on my desk over there
Yeah.
with SF and stuff.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's like a cutting board.
yeah.
Yeah, so he usually does cutting boards, and I was like, "Can you make me a Lazy Susan?" So I've got like the different. I got the dill.
Yes, I
medium
have
hot,
seen this
Reaper,
now.
and
What
then
you're talking about.
Yeah, so I brought that with me to the Dragon's Den thing, and I filled it with samples, and they were gone in like less than a
Cool.
minute.
Wow.
And
Like
yeah,
it's sort of full, like not, but like if one of them owns a chain restaurant,
Right.
yeah,
they're like, oh fuck it, let's just put this in all
let's-
our
yeah, it
restaurants.
could be,
Like,
yeah. So
you never know.
that, like if it was something like that, like I'd consider partnering with someone, but like the whole reason that I'm doing this is so that I don't have to work for other people, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And
so if
passion kind of project too, right? Like
it
You
started
don't
Yeah,
want
you
as a
keep the
passion,
full profit
right?
too, as
Yeah.
well, right?
But like I don't want like some bigwig to come in and just like hit me with like, like
send his
just
people in,
throw in
Yeah.
a bunch of cash and be like, all right, you're working for me now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the last thing I want. So
Right.
I'd rather build it organically.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and
Yeah.
just kind of get it going. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's sick. You'll have to come on again when I say that there's always a reason, but like when you get like a next big,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yo, we were talking about Sobeys. They said, fuck it. We'll
Yeah,
take
they
it.
said, fuck it, give us a rim job. Yeah. They were like, let's go, right? So,
Or whatever it is, like, the first million you sell on Amazon or something
yeah,
like that.
no,
Like,
yeah, I'll definitely.
I believe the e-commerce will blow up
Yeah.
because like think about it, people like the customers that you can reach are global. I mean, you
Yeah.
can literally have people from China
Absolutely.
buying your product.
And something like
right?
that, you're right. Like you just do it organically and something viral goes and you're just like,
Right.
bam,
Yeah.
websites can't
Right.
Yeah,
and it's
I'll-
like
enough people.
and then
Yeah, and then I
screw
can't-
Sobeys,
then I
right?
can't
So it's
keep
like
up.
whatever.
whatever,
right.
deal with those problems.
Yeah.
Like,
So
when
yeah,
they
that would
come.
be a great problem to have,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, but yeah,
Then you call Spina back and be like, hey,
hey, yeah,
Give
let's
me
have
a
different-
machine.
No,
Just
just give me a machine. Give me some funding and like,
yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely. I got some people I'm gonna talk to if that ever happens, but
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. Well, yeah, come back when that's. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
man.
come back anytime, even if it's like I got a new product or something. We should do. Let's put this down. We should do
guys-
line
we
everything
could do a
up.
Showtime Fitness rub or something.
Well, that'd be really cool. But we're doing. This will be my first real like. We're doing a big. June will be 10 years. So we're gonna do a
Okay.
big like member party here.
Sweet, you're gonna
So-
run the barbecue out back.
Yeah,
or-
I'm gonna do like it's gonna be kind of a full day thing, and we'll have barbecue and everything. But we'll do like a something here. We'll make
Yeah,
it
we
something
can do
cool
it,
out of
yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
man.
if it's just having or like I don't know, you think of something creative to do with it. We could have definitely some sort of like
you
bartender.
can do a Rimjobs Caesar bar.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Why
let's
not?
do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because that'd be cool. So.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's do that.
No,
but
this is-
also, we
this is
should do like a thing with the
Yeah, I can bring the
and we'll
Lazy
do a big
Susan.
sample, everything.
Yeah, I'm down. Fuck
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That'd be
thanks for
awesome.
having me
Yeah,
on here.
that was
man.
sick, yeah.
I appreciate
No,
it.
thank you for
Hopefully
coming.
lots
Yeah,
more.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Until next time. Thanks for listening. See ya.